He woke before the sun, as he always did. The city was still asleep, silent except for the low hum of the early breeze and the soft breathing of the woman beside him. Kojo turned his head to watch her ama, his wife. Her eyes were closed, her face calm, but her body still. A year ago, she used to rise before him, teasing him for being slow, dancing around the kitchen as she packed his lunch for work. But that was before the accident, before the night the bus they boarded spun off the road in the rain and crushed her spine. Doctors said she might never walk again. At first, Kojo didn't believe them. He thought it was just swelling, that she'd recover with time. But months passed, and Emma's legs refused to move. They had spent their small savings on her treatment. Then came the rent, the bills, the painkillers, and the endless hospital visits. When everything was gone, Kojo sold his taxi, his only means of earning to pay one more hospital bill. But his friends came together and helped him buy another, old and dented, just enough to get by. That taxi became their life. Each morning, Kojo would lift Amma from the bed, wrap her gently in a bright cloth, and carry her outside. He'd place her carefully in the front seat beside him, fastening the seatbelt like she was made of glass. People stared, but he didn't care. He told her stories as he drove of the passengers who came and went, of the funny things he saw on the road, of how much he missed her laughter. Sometimes, Amma would smile weakly and touch his hand. Other times, she would cry quietly when he wasn't looking. One morning, a passenger, a young woman, saw Kojo gently lift Amma out of the car at the market. She was stunned by what she saw. The way he adjusted Amma's shawl, wiped sweat from her brow, and kissed her forehead before closing the taxi door. She filmed it on her phone. The video was uploaded that same evening, titled, "The Man Who Carried Love Itself." By dawn, it had spread across the internet like wildfire. Thousands commented, calling him the husband every woman dreams of. Celebrities shared it. News outlets wanted interviews. But Kojo didn't care about fame. He didn't even know the video existed until a neighbor showed him. He laughed softly and said, "I didn't do it for them to see. I did it because I love her." When Amma found out, she cried harder than ever. She felt unworthy of his devotion. "You deserve someone whole," she whispered. Kojo knelt beside her bed and held her hand. "You are whole," he said. "You just can't walk, but your heart is still the same. That's all I ever needed." Months passed. Donations poured in from strangers, enough to buy a wheelchair, pay medical bills, and fix the old taxi. Someone even offered to help Amma get specialized treatment abroad. The day Kojo wheeled her onto the plane, cameras flashed, people cheered, but all he saw was her smile, that same smile he fell in love with years ago when she danced barefoot in the rain. When she looked up at him, eyes full of tears, she said, "You carried me through the hardest days of my life." He smiled and whispered, "You carried me long before I ever carried you." And in that moment, surrounded by strangers, flashing lights, and endless noise, they knew they had already won. Their story wasn't just about tragedy. It was about a love that refused to give up, a promise that didn't end when life got hard, and a man who proved that true love doesn't walk away even when walking isn't possible. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.